Actually, so
Yes.
getting to the book, back to the books, we sort of explored the sort of subject-object component, but you introduce early on in the book the thinking from Ronald Heifetz, I think if I pronounce it right,
Yes.
which was helped me to rethink the challenges sort of I wish to overcome through this idea of technical versus adaptive challenges. And
yes,
I found this fascinating. So it's so important. So maybe you can tell us, what is a technical versus adaptive challenge?
right. So the first thing that I would say is that I think this quote, I'm going to share a quote, and it goes like this: the single biggest failure of leadership is to treat adaptive challenges like technical problems. And when I describe what the difference is between these, I think it will make clear why that is such an important distinction to kind of clean up for ourselves. So adaptive challenges have much more to do with our mindsets. They have to do with what's going on inside of us. And technical challenges are the things that you can actually solve by bringing in an expert, they're solvable. And I want to be absolutely clear in talking about these two things right now, which is that they are both important. And I don't want to end up having kind of listeners think about this is kind of one is better and the other is not better. The problem is that we are mostly orienting towards how to solve problems from this more technical position because we know how to do things, and it keeps us in our comfort zone. And it keeps us in our comfort zone not only because we know, oh, I can employ this particular tool here, but it also gives us a sense of efficacy, like I'm doing something. There's something I could do here. Different from the adaptive part of a challenge is going to take much more time. It's going to be much more, you have to change your heart and your mind about things. So if you tune into the more adaptive part, it means basically having a different kind of a conversation. And you have to face into, there are strong feelings that are involved. Giving a work example here, which is one of the most common leadership challenges that we often hear about is the challenge of giving candid feedback to people. And we know that there are lots of different kind of technical ways people learn how to give feedback. And I think the Cambridge Leadership Group here in the United States or in North Carolina, they do a fantastic job of packaging this way of approaching giving feedback. And it's called SBI, situation, behavior, impact. And it's a wonderful structure to help somebody think about how they are going to give feedback. Here's the situation. In last week's meeting, behavior, you were on your phone. It looked like texting while I was talking. And the impact on me was I felt like dismissed and you were not valuing my contributions. Okay, great. Right. Very clear. Now, that's something somebody could learn technically to do. But the question is, can the person actually make use of that tool? And that is going to actually depend on the person's own inner landscape. And when I say the inner landscape here, I want to be kind of bringing up for people this whole idea of mental complexity, because if I'm at that place in my own development where I am subject to people's expectations from me and making them happy, it's going to be very hard for me to use that tool because I am afraid that by saying to somebody that the impact was I felt hurt and not seen and not valued, I worry I'm going to damage the relationship. So I'm not going to do it, right? So that's the really good example of I need to be more kind of able to see and have a relationship to that part of me that may worry I will be damaging relationships and I will be damaging my own well-being if I give this feedback. And so right now I see the trade-off I'm making is don't give the feedback, stay safe. But if I can begin to see, oh, there's that part of me, then I could begin to maybe test out is that actually so true and going to damage the relationship? And that's all of what the immunity to change does. It helps surface what is the adaptive nature of the challenge that you are necessarily going to experience as you take on this next particular improvement goal that is going to make you the bigger, better version of yourself you want to get to.
Fantastic. I think this does,
Yes.
there's a real lot of hope in this idea that we can be better than what we are right now. And I think also that's why I love this work, because it brings a real joy and an opportunity for growth. And I think with the real joy and opportunity comes, just real fulfillment and satisfaction in life.
Yes. Yes. And I just want to say, I absolutely agree with you about the infusion of hope. And I also want to say that development is hard and it can be painful. And that's, I think, a phenomenon we really have to respect, that there is an energy system within us. And this is the immune system that it's an unconscious decision, prefer to know things as they are and maintain the status quo than to take the risk of developing, because you don't know that the development is actually going to be any better. Truly, you don't. And what you know is, and what you're most tuned into, is the risk and the loss.